E-procurement is a very important concept when we discuss about businesses using information age. Procurement has not traditionally been a significant topic for management study in comparison with other areas like marketing, operations and strategy. So the concept of e-business, however, is highlighted its importance as a strategic issue since introducing electronic procurement or e-procurement can achieve significant savings and other benefits which already impact upon the customers. We estimate that for every money a company earns in revenue, 50% to 55% is spent on direct goods and services, things like office supplies and computer equipment, that off of what we represented as an opportunity. By driving costs out of the purchasing process, companies can increase profits without having to sell more goods. So in this video, we are going to study about the benefit and risk of e-procurement altogether and techniques that can be used to assess the benefits that company would be getting. Now, what is e-procurement? The term purchasing and procurement, they are sometimes used interchangeably, and procurement generally has a broader meaning. Procurement refers to all kinds of activities that is being involved with obtaining items from a supplier, and this includes purchasing, but also inbound logistics such as transportation, goods in and warehousing before the item is used. So the key procurement activities and associated information that flows within the organizations we are going to pay more importance to in this video. So e-procurement, the electronic integration and management of all procurement activities, which includes raising purchasing request, authorizing the purchase, placing an order and checking on the deliveries and receiving the goods and payment making between a purchaser and the supplier. So the e-procurement should be directed at improving performance for each of the 5 rights of purchasing: at the right place, at the right price, delivered at the right time, at the right quality, at the right quantity, and from the right source. So e-procurement is not new. There have been many attempts to automate the process of procurement for buyer using electronic procurement system. So there is a workflow system and links with the suppliers through EDI. So these involved online entry, authorization and placing of orders using combination of data entry forms, scanned documents and email based workflow. It is convenient to refer to these as first generation e-procurement. Some of the key activities within the organizations for the procurement process, which is given here in the flow chart. We can see that there is a buyer and the approver, originator, accountant and the warehouse, where the buyer places an order, the purchase order copy is being sent to an accountant and he makes a payment. So the supplier, he make the purchase order and gives the invoice and the delivery note to a company and receives the payment. So procuring organization, so the buyer, he has to get the approval, he has to raise the requisition and it has to get approved, and once the goods have been ordered, then he places an order copy to an accountant and accountant raises a payment and the goods are being sent to the warehouse. So these are all very important key activities that happens within the organization as far as procurement is concerned. And what are the different types of procurement? So when we are understanding the different types of procurement, we must also understand the various types of procurement. So the procurement as such, to understand the benefits of e-procurement, we have to have a highlight on some of the practical considerations with introduction of procurement into an organization which happens electronically. So we need to briefly consider the different types of items that are obtained by the procurement, means what has been bought and type of ordering, how it has been bought. So let us start by reviewing what is bought by the businesses. Normally a B2B company might buy everything from steel for manufacturing product through equipment to help machine process the paper clips, pen for office use. There are 2 broad categories of procurement. Those that relate to manufacturing product, we can say that it is production related procurement, and operation and non-production related procurement that supports the operations of the whole business, and that includes office supplies, furniture and information systems, MRO goods and the range of services from catering, buying, travel and professional services such as consulting and training. So we can say MRO is actually a maintenance, repair and the operations of manufacturing facilities. So raw materials for the production of goods and the MRO goods are particularly important since they are critical for the operation of a business. For the B2B company, they would include manufacturing equipment, network cables and computers to control the process. Overall, we can call the types of procurement as systematic sourcing and the spot sourcing. So what is systematic sourcing? Systematic sourcing is a negotiated contracts with regular suppliers. And what is spot sourcing? Spot sourcing is a fulfillment of an immediate need where typically the commodity based items for which it is less important to know the credibility of the supplier. So what are the different types of participants when we discuss about the e-procurement? So different types of online intermediaries such as price comparison sites where that change the marketplace options for the consumers. A similar understanding of new potential participants or actors in e-procurement is also very important. So when we discuss about the participants of the types of procurement, the very first participant is the traditional manufacturers. So he is the one who produce physical goods that are generally sold to other corporate customers. Next comes the direct sales manufacturer. Similar to a traditional manufacturer except that they bypass intermediaries and sell direct to end customers via web or phone channels. These can include service companies. Direct sales manufacturer can be cost effective option since the company is giving off the intermediaries and directly selling the products at a very high value added to the consumers. And next one is a value added procurement. So partners acts as intermediaries to sell products and services to other businesses. Example at travel agents and the office solution companies. Online hubs. Online hubs are industry specific vertical portals such as Elimica, we can say, that generate revenues via B2B exchanges. Knowledge experts who produce information goods, for example, econsultancy.com and hitwise.com, they have subscription services with the innovation alerts, best practices and statistics of internet usage. Next comes the online information services. So they provide unique information to end users that is either original in its development or provide a unique editorial perspective. From a e-procurement perspective, we actually come across many services such as E2Open. So those are available to manage the information supply chain. Then online retailers. So online retailers include startup e-businesses and more traditional multi-channel retailers. Eurooffice is an internet pure play providing office goods at lower prices than traditional providers. So traditional providers in this space with a network of stores that includes staples. Portal communities. They seek to aggregate different online information services into an integrated consumer experience. For example, a personalized news stories or online bill presentment and payment and community discussion features. Now come to a different types of applications of which e-businesses, particularly e-procurement is happening. The very first one is e-sourcing, where you find a potential new supplier using an intranet during the information gathering step of the procurement process. Next comes the e-tendering. E-tendering is the process of screening suppliers and sending suppliers requests for information and requests for price. E-informing is the qualification of suppliers for suitability. It doesn't involve transactions but instead handles information about the supplier's quality, financial status or delivery capabilities. E-reverse auctions that enable the purchase companies to buy goods and services that have the lowest price or combination of the lowest price and other conditions via internet technologies. E-MRO and web-based ERP. So these involve the purchase and supply of products which are the core of most e-procurement applications. The software used to manages the process of creating and approving purchasing requisitions, placing orders and receiving the goods or service ordered. So these are all the various applications on which the e-procurement happens. And what would be the drivers of e-procurement? The very first one is the control. So improving compliance, achieving centralization, raising standards, optimizing sourcing strategy and improved auditing of data. This enhances the budgetary control and is achieved by the rules to limit spending and improve reporting facilities. Cost is another driving force because it improves buying leverage through increased supplier competition, monitoring savings targets and transactional cost reduction. Process is another driver which tells about the rationalization and standardization of e-procurement processes, giving reduced cycle time, improved visibility and process for management and efficient invoice settlement. Individual performance, where the individual shares the knowledge, value-added productivity and productivity improvement. Supplier management, reduced supplier numbers, suppliers management and selection and integration. All these forms a useful framework for evaluating the benefits of e-procurement, and that has been created a very value added for the e-businesses.